Through Indonesia Pavilion at the World Economic Forum 2023, Indonesia targets a higher investment and invites potential capital into the country. Rahmat Idris is in Davos, Switzerland with the details. Rahmat, what approaches that the Indonesian government made to attract foreign investors to come to Indonesia?
In the -8 degrees below the freezing temperatures in the beautiful city, blanketed by snow of Davos, Switzerland, the government of the Republic of Indonesia continues to push forward the agenda of inviting potential investors into the country. And the World Economic Forum 2023 is deemed such a strong and potentially beneficial forum and platform for Indonesia in order to do so, to further attract investments into the countries and ultimately boost economic growth of Indonesia. And for the World Economic Forum 2023 this year, the government of the Republic of Indonesia is represented by two different related ministries. One is the Coordinating Ministry of Maritime and Investments, represented by the minister himself, the Coordinating Minister for Maritime and Investments, Luhut bin Sarpanjaitan, and another ministry is the Ministry of Investments of the Republic of Indonesia, with the Minister Bahlil Lahadalia himself attending in person. The two ministries also represents another related ministry, which is the Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia, which showcase some of the most potential products and industrial offers and attractions to the visitors and to other delegates from the global communities. And those products are showcased within the so-called Indonesia Pavilion, which attracted and gained some rave reviews and responses from the visiting delegates of World Economic Forum 2023. And on the sidelines of World Economic Forum this year, Minister Bahlil Lahadalia, representing the Ministry of Investments, also delivered a special address to some of the most potential investors who were present at the meeting on the sidelines of the main forum. And that particular forum, Minister Bahlil Lahadalia reiterated the fact that the world right now is not in an okay condition. It is not good due to the ongoing rivalries between big economies in the world, that is the USA and also China. And another fact that there is this unprecedented and the prolonged war in Ukraine that has exacerbated food and energy security. However, amidst all of these calamities, in the past year alone, Indonesia has managed to achieve such a significant strides in terms of economic growth. And the third quarter of 2022 alone, Indonesia saw a 5.722% economic growth, with inflations being kept under 6%. And that is quite a remarkable achievement and one of the best, as a matter of fact, within the G20 economies. Minister Bahlil Lahadalia also stressed out the stance of the Indonesian government to continue to push investments in the real sector, and that is outside of gas and oil as well as financial sector. And for the year 2023 alone, the government has targeted 1,400 trillion rupiahs investment flowing into the country. So that's a big task for the government to achieve in this year alone. So there's a lot of work to do for the ministry. And in front of these potential investors who were present at the forum, Minister of Investment of Indonesia, Bahlil Lahadalia, also conveyed the fact that to all of those investors out there, do come to the country, do come to Indonesia. We have a lot to offer to you. Bring your technology, bring your innovation and your capital. And adding to the fact that the government of Indonesia will also provide a very attractive and interesting incentive to all of these potential investors. Namely, the government will provide tax allowance and tax holiday, and also the government's guarantees to expedite the licensing process for all of these potential investors. And Minister Bahlil also said that the government of Indonesia will continue to push towards the initiatives of clean energy, green industry that is, and also green energy, meaning that the use of electric vehicles, the use of hydro, solar, and also wind power plants will continue to be encouraged across the country. And on another note, also speaking at the forum where the investors were present was the CEO of Pertamina, as one of the biggest fuel distributor in the country, piggybacking on the statement of Minister Bahlil Lahadalia that we are committed, Indonesia is committed towards this green initiative and towards the net zero emission. And in that case, Indonesia will have to have some sort of success stories, lesson learned from other countries that have managed to make such strides, Japan and China, for example. So there's a lot of things to be done moving forward from now. However, with the energy transitions, the government and also Pertamina will have no one left behind, meaning that all of these other stakeholders, which includes small, medium enterprises, will be invited along in the energy transitions. And speaking of energy, days in the World Economic Forum here in Davos, Switzerland, continue to unfold meetings after meetings. And one of the biggest highlights of the meeting was that the conversations, the discussions on climate change, and that is piggybacking on the heels of the just concluded a couple of months ago, the COP27, that is the biggest energy conference by the United Nations, held in November 2022 last year in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. So at this forum of World Economic Forum, the conversations on climate change continue to progress due to the fact that in the past years alone, climate change has been one of the main triggers for some of the most devastating natural disasters throughout the world. So there have been a common call for unity to push together the agenda towards efforts to tackle climate change. And it's been instigated that to the year 2050, there will be about 1,400 billion, or rather $140 trillion gap in terms of financing needed to address all of these disasters and natural issues. So, and not only that, the philanthropic movements and all of these stakeholders are invited to get on board and sort of provide and close the gaps of these financial issues. And another exciting sessions at the climate change conversations within the World Economic Conference was the call towards the younger generations for the youth to come together to advocate and to educate. And at some point, they all move together to literally save the earth. And from Davos, Switzerland, I'm Rahmat Idris, and the camera person Danu Dirja reported for TVRI World.
Thank you, Rahmat Idris. Such a comprehensive report from Davos.